Your spices could be contaminated with lead, salmonella, and sawdust right now. Those bright, organic labels, they're hiding the truth. Today, we're exposing 10 spice brands poisoning your food and revealing the only 2 worth buying. Let's dive in. That familiar red cap in every American kitchen since 1889. The spice brand your grandmother used. The company that owns 40% of the entire U.S. market. McCormick also controls French's, Lawry's, Clubhouse, Old Bay, and Zatarain's. You can't escape them. Every grocery aisle is McCormick under different labels. But market dominance doesn't equal quality. It equals the power to set industry standards low enough to maximize profit. The salmonella recalls tell the real story. Black pepper recalled in 2015 after 5 people were hospitalized. Garlic powder in 2016. Curry powder in 2021. This isn't bad luck. This is systematic failure of quality control. Here's how it works. McCormick purchases massive bulk quantities from the lowest cost international suppliers. Minimal testing, maximum volume. Spices arrive contaminated because cheap suppliers cut sanitation corners. Then McCormick irradiates everything to kill bacteria, a legal process never disclosed on labels. Irradiation destroys nutrients while creating ratalytic byproducts with unknown health effects. The spices sit in warehouses for months or years before bottling. By the time paprika reaches your cabinet, it's lost 60% of its active compounds. You're seasoning food with nutritionally dead dust. Laboratory testing proved it. Fresh ground paprika contains specific levels of carotenoids and antioxidants. McCormick paprika measured 30% lower. You're paying for stale powder that's lost most beneficial properties. For families using McCormick daily, salmonella exposure causes severe food poisoning requiring hospitalization. For seniors with weakened immunity, bacterial contamination can be life-threatening. For home cooks who trust that red cap, you're getting the lowest common denominator the industry allows. Market monopoly marketed, salmonella, and irradiation delivered. Drop a comment if that red McCormick cap is in your cabinet right now. Let's see how many kitchens they've infiltrated. 9. Great Value Spices Walmart's house brand. $1 to $2 per bottle. Undercutting every competitor. Looks like smart budget shopping for families stretching grocery dollars, right? That impossible pricing tells you everything about what's inside. Zero transparency about sourcing. No country of origin disclosure. Just packed in USA printed on labels. And that's a loophole. Packed in USA means nothing about where spices were actually grown. Independent testing in 2019 revealed the truth. Heavy metals throughout the Great Value Spice line. Lead and cadmium detected in multiple products. Garlic powder tested positive for aluminum and arsenic above safe limits. Chili powder contained lead flagged by California's Proposition 65. These aren't trace amounts. These are measurable contamination levels requiring warnings. No batch traceability. If contamination gets discovered, Walmart can't track which products are affected. No recall infrastructure. No accountability. Walmart's buying power forces suppliers to cut costs ruthlessly. Quality gets sacrificed. Testing gets eliminated. Corners get cut until what remains barely qualifies as the spice it claims to be. Fillers bulk up weight. Sawdust in black pepper, rice flour in paprika, ground peanut shells in chili powder, not listed because suppliers add them before selling to Walmart. For families seasoning food daily with Great Value, cumulative heavy metal exposure causes neurological damage in children. Lead affects developing brains permanently. For seniors with reduced kidney function, lead and cadmium accumulate faster than bodies can eliminate. For pregnant women, lead crosses the placental barrier directly. Budget prices marketed, heavy metals delivered, zero traceability. 8. Dollar Tree Spices. Everything $1.25. The ultimate budget option for people on fixed incomes. Elderly shoppers stretching Social Security checks. Quality control doesn't exist at this price point. It's mathematically impossible. Brands change constantly. Flavor it 1 month, season on the next. Random no-name labels appear and disappear. No consistency, no accountability. Consumer Reports testing in 2022 delivered devastating results. Dollar store spices showed the highest contamination rates of any products tested. Lead levels in turmeric exceeded safe limits by 400% in some samples. Not 4%, 400%. That's not contamination. That's poison marketed as seasoning. Cinnamon contained coumarin. a liver toxin, at levels banned throughout Europe. The European Union won't allow these products, but Dollar Tree sells them freely in America's poorest neighborhoods. Packaging often doesn't list basic information. No ingredients, no country of origin, no manufacturing date, just mystery powder in flimsy bottles. Inspection of random samples found insect parts and rodent hair, not occasionally, routinely. Zero recall infrastructure. If serious contamination gets discovered, Dollar Tree has no system for notifying consumers. Products just disappear from shelves, while contaminated bottles remain in homes. For elderly using dollar store spices, lead poisoning causes cognitive decline blamed on normal aging. For families feeding children with these spices, heavy metal exposure permanently lowers IQ. For anyone with liver disease, coumarin accelerates organ damage. The cruelest part? These products target America's most vulnerable. People with the least resources get the highest contamination. Dollar pricing marketed. 400% lead delivered. If you're learning something valuable here, hit that subscribe button so you never season food with contamination again. 7. Trader Joe's Spices, the healthy grocery store everyone trusts. Cheerful employees, island decor, affordable organic options. Shopping there feels virtuous. That trust makes contamination more dangerous. Nobody questions products from stores with healthy reputations. The recall history tells a different story. Organic cumin recalled in 2016 for salmonella. Curry powder in 2019, salmonella again. Cinnamon sticks in 2023 for lead. Multiple recalls, different products, same problems repeating. This isn't bad luck. This is inadequate quality control disguised by cheerful branding. Here's what makes it worse. The company delays recall announcements systematically. Contamination gets discovered internally, but products sit on shelves for weeks while legal teams craft messaging. Customers keep buying contaminated spices while Trader Joe's protects its reputation. The organic label doesn't prevent salmonella, heavy metals, or bacterial contamination. Organic certification covers how crops are grown. It says nothing about processing or quality control. Trader Joe's sources from the same international bulk suppliers as conventional brands. Laboratory analysis found no meaningful quality differences. Same staleness, similar contamination risks. But you're paying premium prices. $3 to $5 per bottle versus $1 to $2 for great value. The markup funds the charming aesthetic, not superior safety. For health-conscious families paying premium specifically because they trust the brand, salmonella causes severe food poisoning identical to any contaminated source. For pregnant women choosing TJ's organic spices, lead in cinnamon still crosses the placental barrier. Healthy reputation marketed. Multiple salmonella recalls delivered. 6. Spice Islands. Fancy glass bottles with elegant labels. Gourmet positioning. Premium shelf placement next to expensive olive oils. Bottles cost 2 to 3 times more than McCormick's standard line. That premium pricing creates expectations of superior quality. Here's the secret. McCormick owns them. Has since the 1990s. Same parent company, same bulk suppliers, same quality control issues. Marketing emphasizes superior quality and gourmet standards. But blind taste tests reveal people can't distinguish Spice Islands from McCormick's regular line. Same spices, same irradiation process, same warehouse storage degrading freshness, just different packaging and markup. Industry investigations trace Spice Island sourcing to identical suppliers as budget brands. The premium positioning is pure marketing. Those beautiful glass bottles, they cost more to manufacture and transport. You're paying for packaging, not spices. Glass doesn't make inferior spices superior. Spice Islands faces the same salmonella recalls as parent company McCormick. Gourmet branding doesn't prevent bacterial contamination. For gourmet cooks paying premium prices expecting superior purity, you're getting identical contamination risks as McCormick's cheapest line. The markup funds McCormick's profit margins, not quality improvements. Premium glass marketed, McCormick contamination delivered, corporate ownership hidden. 5. Simply Organic USDA Organic Certified, marketed as pure and minimally processed. The brand for people who read labels and care about ingredients. Everything about Simply Organic's messaging emphasizes natural, wholesome, unprocessed. Here's what they never mention. The spices are irradiated, bombarded with ionizing radiation to kill bacteria. Shocking loophole in USDA regulations. You can irradiate products and maintain organic certification. The process destroys nutrients systematically. Antioxidant compounds break down, vitamins degrade, beneficial properties get eliminated, irradiation creates radiolytic byproducts, compounds called 2-alkyl cyclobutanones that don't exist in nature. These molecules only form when food gets irradiated. Long-term health effects are unknown. European studies link these compounds to DNA damage and cancer promotion, but evidence remains incomplete while American companies continue irradiating. Simply Organic never mentions irradiation on labels or marketing materials. The omission is legal but deliberately misleading. Testing shows irradiated spices have 40 to 60% less antioxidant activity. The health benefits you're paying premium prices to access have been radiation blasted away. For cancer patients choosing Simply Organic to avoid toxins during treatment, irradiation creates compounds with unknown cancer-promoting potential. For families paying premium for organic thinking, they're getting maximum nutrients. The radiation destroys the beneficial compounds. Organic purity marketed, radiation processing delivered, nutrients destroyed legally. 4. Badia colorful packaging, extensive selection. Popular in Latino communities, the brand feels culturally authentic. Labels say distributed by Badia Spices Inc., Doral, Florida. That Florida address implies American quality. Reality is different. Over 90% sourced from China, India, and Vietnam. Latin-focused branding hides Asian sourcing. In 2019, Badia settled an FTC complaint for deceptive origin labeling. The company printed "Product of USA" on bottles containing 100% foreign-grown spices. The loophole: companies can claim "Product of USA" if packaged in America, regardless of where spices were grown. FDA import alerts document the problems. Multiple Badia shipments detained at borders for excessive pesticide residues. Foreign suppliers use chemicals banned in American agriculture. A 2021 shipment was stopped for pesticide contamination exceeding federal limits. Products that failed import inspection later appeared on shelves after appeals and retesting. Heavy metals pose additional risks. Turmeric and paprika from undisclosed Asian suppliers regularly test positive for lead and cadmium. Packaging deliberately evokes Latin American heritage. Bright colors, Spanish text, cultural imagery. Everything suggests authentic regional sourcing, while spices come from different continents. For Latino families trusting Badia as culturally authentic, pesticide residues accumulate, causing neurological problems. For home cooks assuming Florida distribution means domestic quality, heavy metals contaminate every meal. Latin heritage marketed, Chinese contamination delivered, FTC settlement paid. 3. Whole Foods, 365 organic spices, Whole Foods house brand. The grocery store built on the highest quality, natural, and organic products. Shopping there signals health consciousness and affluence. Premium pricing remains intact, $4 to $6 per jar. The markup assumes superior safety. Independent analysis in 2020 shattered assumptions. Testing showed 365 organic spices had identical contamination rates to conventional alternatives. Lead detected in 365 turmeric at levels indistinguishable from Dollar Tree samples, the most expensive grocery and the cheapest dollar store selling equally contaminated products. Salmonella found in 365 ground coriander during random sampling. Organic certification didn't prevent bacterial contamination. Whole Foods, 365 purchases from the same international bulk suppliers as budget brands. Organic certification applies to crops, but processing creates identical contamination opportunities. Heavy metals come from soil. Organic farming doesn't eliminate lead and cadmium from contaminated agricultural land. Amazon's 2017 acquisition accelerated cost-cutting. The company that built its premium reputation through quality began optimizing for profit margins. Quality control testing decreased. Supplier standards loosened. Premium pricing continued while actual safety declined. Laboratory testing revealed no meaningful purity advantage over cheaper alternatives. Organic label and Whole Foods branding create perception without delivering protection. For affluent families expecting superior safety to justify premium prices, heavy metal contamination is identical to dollar stores. For cancer survivors who shop Whole Foods believing it's the cleanest option, lead exposure continues. Premium organic marketed, mainstream contamination delivered, Amazon optimization prioritized. How many of us have been paying Whole Foods prices thinking we were buying safety? Drop a comment. 2. Frontier Co-op, founded in 1976 as a member-owned cooperative. Revolutionary model prioritizing ethics over profit. Fair trade practices, transparent sourcing, community ownership. The natural foods movement embraced Frontier as proof businesses could operate differently. Members financially supported the cooperative, believing in its mission. For decades, Frontier delivered rigorous quality control, fair farmer compensation, transparency. The cooperative model worked. Then 2019 changed everything. Frontier sold a majority stake to Seuss Brands, a private equity firm. Member-owned cooperative became corporate property. Immediately after acquisition, quality declined. Former members report pressure to cut costs and use cheaper suppliers. Fair trade commitments reduced. Testing frequency decreased. The 2021 oregano recall marked the turning point. Salmonella contamination, the first product recall in Frontier's entire 45-year history. Decades of clean record destroyed within 2 years of private equity ownership. Private equity operates on specific timelines. Purchase companies, cut costs, increase margins, sell for higher valuation. Quality becomes an obstacle to profit extraction. Marketing continues using cooperative imagery. Website emphasizes ethical sourcing. Nothing acknowledges the fundamental transformation. For the natural foods community who trusted Frontier's cooperative ethics, salmonella represents complete betrayal. For members who financially supported the cooperative, their investment funded a sale to a profit-maximizing corporation. Cooperative ethics marketed, private equity contamination delivered. First recall post-sellout. 1. Generic turmeric brands, unbranded imports. The Golden Spice, superfood status, anti-inflammatory miracle. Turmeric exploded as a wellness trend. Golden milk lattes, supplement capsules, daily curry cooking. Health benefits are real. Curcumin compounds reduce inflammation, support joint health, provide antioxidants. Legitimate therapeutic properties backed by research. But a 2023 FDA investigation uncovered devastating truth. Widespread lead chromate adulteration in turmeric imported from Bangladesh. Suppliers deliberately add lead chromate to make turmeric brighter yellow. Lead chromate is an industrial yellow pigment banned for food use worldwide. Toxic, carcinogenic, completely illegal. It makes turmeric visually appealing. Vibrant yellow-orange that photographs beautifully. Bright color sells better than accurate color. Testing found lead levels 500 to 1,000 times safe limits in some generic turmeric brands. Children and families using contaminated turmeric showed elevated blood lead during routine screening. Doctors couldn't identify the exposure source, eventually traced to turmeric in home kitchens. Lead poisoning got misdiagnosed as behavioral problems and learning disabilities. Teachers recommended medications. Parents blamed genetics. Nobody suspected the golden healing spice. Most contamination occurs during processing in Bangladesh. Suppliers add lead chromate as the final step before packaging. Crops might be grown organically, but processing adulterates them deliberately. Generic brands carry the highest risk. No-name labels at ethnic stores, random brands with minimal packaging, products sourced through brokers with zero accountability. Even organic turmeric gets contaminated if sourced from regions using lead chromate. Organic certification doesn't prevent processing adulteration. FDA issued import alerts, but contaminated products still reach shelves. Enforcement is reactive, not preventive. How to spot contaminated turmeric. Open your turmeric now. The color screams wrong, unnaturally bright, almost neon yellow-orange. Real turmeric is muted, earthy orange with brownish undertones. Smell it closely. Should be earthy, slightly bitter, complex. Contaminated turmeric smells oddly metallic underneath the curry scent. That's lead chromate. Rub powder between fingers. Should feel slightly gritty. Real turmeric has texture from plant fibers. Contaminated turmeric feels suspiciously smooth, almost slippery. For families using turmeric daily, lead causes permanent neurological damage in children. Developing brains are especially vulnerable. IQ reduction is permanent and irreversible. For pregnant women taking turmeric supplements, lead crosses the placental barrier directly. Fetal brain development gets disrupted. Developmental disabilities appear years later. For seniors using turmeric for joint pain, chronic lead poisoning causes cognitive decline indistinguishable from dementia, memory problems, confusion, tremors. For anyone, lead accumulates in bones over decades. Every dose adds to a lifetime burden, eventually causing irreversible organ damage. The cruelest irony, people consume turmeric specifically for health benefits, anti-inflammatory properties, disease prevention. Instead, they're getting one of the most toxic heavy metals known to medicine. Go check your pantry now. Walk to your spice cabinet right now. If you see McCormick, Great Value, Dollar Tree Spices, Trader Joe's, Spice Islands, Simply Organic, Badia, Whole Foods 365, Frontier, or any generic turmeric, throw them out. Don't cook one more meal. Don't finish the jar. Your brain, liver, and children's development aren't worth saving $3. But clean spices exist. 2 companies actually test every batch for heavy metals, work directly with farmers, and prove transparency isn't impossible. Real flavor doesn't require lead contamination. The 2 brands worth buying. 1. Burlap and Barrel. Single origin spices sourced directly from individual farms, not bulk commodity suppliers. Actual name farmers you can research. Every batch tested by third-party laboratories for heavy metals, pesticides, and microbial contamination. Results published on their website with batch codes matching your jar. Founder Ethan Frisch partners with smallholder farmers globally, paying 2 to 10 times fair trade prices. Farmers earn enough to maintain quality instead of cutting corners. Each spice lists exact origin: Zanzibar black peppercorns from Pemba Island, wild mountain cumin from Afghanistan's Bamyan province, royal cinnamon from Vietnam's Quang Tri province. Transparent supply chain means you know which farm, which harvest, which farmer. Full traceability if problems arise. The spices taste dramatically different. Stronger aroma, more complex flavor, fresh harvested and quickly processed instead of warehouse aging. Vietnamese cinnamon tastes sweet and delicate. Indonesian cinnamon is bold and spicy. Burlap and Barrel preserves regional differences instead of blending into generic powder. 1 teaspoon of their cumin has more flavor than 3 teaspoons of stale McCormick. Deep, earthy, warm. Premium pricing reflects reality, $8 to $15 per jar. But testing costs money. Direct trade costs money. Quality costs money. For families wanting flavor with 0 contamination, this investment pays off. For home cooks who care about taste and health, this proves you don't have to choose. For those supporting farmer livelihoods, direct trade ensures money reaches growers. No irradiation, no fillers, no heavy metals, no lies. Just real spices from real places grown by real people. 2. Diaspora company farm-based direct trade. Farmers aren't just paid fairly, they're offered ownership stakes. Revolutionary supply chain putting growers first as partners. Founded by Sana Javeri Kadri, who witnessed spice industry exploitation growing up in Mumbai. Built Diaspora company as the opposite of the commodity model. Farmers first, quality second, profit third. Every spice undergoes rigorous third-party testing. Heavy metals, pesticides, microbial contamination, authenticity verification. Results published transparently. Single origin sourcing with complete traceability. Pragati turmeric from Araku Valley, India, grown by a specific cooperative. Baraka cardamom from Guatemala, from a named farm with GPS coordinates. Packaging includes farmer stories, photographs, regional context. You're supporting identified people with families. Their faces appear on the website, names printed on labels. The turmeric is a revelation, deep orange that looks real, not enhanced. Intensely aromatic, fresh enough to smell through the sealed jar. No lead chromate needed when turmeric is fresh and high quality. Color comes from curcumin content, not toxic pigment. Cumin tastes like a completely different spice. Warm, earthy, complex layers, not flat and dusty. Premium pricing reflects comprehensive testing and ethics, $10 to $18 per jar. But cheaper spices hide costs through contamination and exploitation. For families with children or pregnant women, 0 heavy metal contamination verified through testing matters more than saving dollars. For cancer patients, inflammation sufferers, anyone using spices therapeutically, Purity and potency deliver actual health benefits. Contaminated spices can't heal while poisoning. Diaspora company proves the industry doesn't require choosing between ethics and quality, fair farmer compensation and rigorous testing, transparency and exceptional flavor. It just costs more because hiding contamination and exploiting farmers is cheaper. This is what spices should be every time, every brand, no exceptions. And there you have it. From McCormick's salmonella recalls to turmeric contaminated with lead chromate at 1,000 times safe limits, we've exposed how spice brands poison your food while hiding behind trusted labels. Corporate giants prioritize profit over purity. Organic labels hide radiation. Premium pricing at Whole Foods funds the same contaminated suppliers as dollar stores. You now know what contaminates and what protects. Choose brands that test every batch, name their farmers, and prove transparency through action. Flavor shouldn't require heavy metal poisoning. These two brands prove it's possible. If this opened your eyes, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. More food exposés coming soon. Thanks for watching. Stay sharp, stay healthy, and keep rising.